Hello, happy Thursday, my friends. It is a gorgeous day here on the Cape. I'm actually hoping to escape a little bit early today. It's actually my birthday. Today is the actual day. I'm a Cinco de Mayo baby, so we're gonna do some margaritas this evening for sure. So I am excited to be stamping with you again today though. I do have some makeup on, which I don't normally do, but I might be recording some videos for some updates to Shore Club, and I have something really fun coming at the end of the month, so I'm really excited and need to do some videos for that too. I don't know if I'll actually get to them today because, like I said, I'm probably going to leave early for my birthday, so, but I just decided it doesn't hurt to look good on your birthday, right? Makes you feel better, all that good stuff. So, and hopefully we'll get to do a few videos in the meantime. Hey, Becky. So my boxes of goodies did not come today. So I actually did second day air and it still didn't arrive on second day air like it's supposed to, but I'm not surprised. Shipping's been kind of crazy. Thank you, Becky. I'll have 2 boxes of goodies tomorrow. Hey, Charlene. Thank you, my friend. I'll have 2 boxes of goodies tomorrow, so we'll have lots of fun new stuff to play with. But I figured today I'm going to revisit the Sun Prince suite because it is one of my favorites. I'm a huge blue girl, if you can't tell. I love me some blue. So I love this suite, and I had a whole bunch of samples, which I'll show you again because I know I went through them really quick last time. And then I'm going to do a Thursday throwdown with a fun fold. So, and have not planned it out, so we're gonna see how that goes. But I do have kind of an idea, and I tested the measurements just to make sure that will work. But I thought I'd throw that together for you too. All right, so let's go ahead and turn this around and get started, and we will do some stamping. So thanks so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. It's been so much fun connecting with you all week, actually over a week now, and playing with new goodies. So if you haven't heard, if you've been under a rock for the last week, I have been playing with all sorts of new goodies from the brand new Stampin' Up! May 2022-23 annual catalog, which launched on Thursday. And today I'm going to focus on, because I didn't get my new box of goodies, I'm going to go back to my favorites, which is the first things I ordered. We're going to go back to the Sun Prince collection. Super pretty. I love a good botanical type stamp set. Forever Fern is still one of my favorites, and in fact I hoarded some of the paper because I thought I was going to use it for my wedding album, but then the artistically composed, I don't know if that's the name, my brain is blanking, but there's a tropical themed paper in the mini that I ended up using for the wedding. So at some point I need to show you guys those because I've actually started it. But anyway, I digress. We're going to focus on this today. And like I said, I think I'm going to use or create a fun fold. And it's not necessarily a brand new fun fold that I'm designing. I mean, I am designing it off the top of my head, but it's something I've seen in the past that I'm going to recreate from memory. Okay, so, oh, thank you, Debbie. So let's just take a look at this this suite in action. I'll show you the bundle first. Let's see. Wait, did I even? Oh, I did. I was like, did I even bring it over here? I did. Nature's Prince is the stamp set. It is a red rubber one, a cling mount, and then the dies. Look at this wreath. Is that not beautiful? I love this one. The dies actually cut out a lot of the elements from the stamp set, and I love the fonts and the sayings, so it's a really nice one. We've played with it earlier. I played with it earlier in the week, but we're going to play with it again. So that's the dies. It also has the embossing folder. I don't think I'm going to use this, although you never know. This is the Fern embossing folder. I do love this, and I used it on a couple of my cards in the stash, so I'll show you those. And then, of course, the piece de resistance is the paper. And again, if you're a blue person like me, you're gonna like it. Oh, and you know what else I love? It's not quite crumb cake, but it's a very crumb cake vibe. It's actually gray granite, so I love that neutral part too. So here's the paper, and I'll tell you, it is so much prettier in person than in the catalog, which is always the case, right? So you can see lots of different patterns and prints. I think this page is like my favorite. How beautiful is that? I feel like I need to use that on a scrapbook page, so And then we've got this, which I used the other day for the angle card. Oh, and actually, where is that? Because I don't have that in my stack. So there's your paper. you can see, let me find that and add that to my collection. Here it is. Okay, I'll put that over here. Okay, so now let's just go through a few of the samples to see if any of this sparks any interest for you, and then we'll go ahead and do some stamping. So this was the one I did a few days ago as part of my, hey Cheryl, thank you. As part of my countdown, we did this really fun angle cut card, which was really popular. You guys really liked that one, which I'm glad. Hey Marcia, thank you. This one was one of the card swaps that I got. This is from Kathy Miller. Love this fun fold. I've seen them obviously like this, and I think I have a few, but she did a top one, which is kind of fun too. And I like how the sentiment is down here, so you have all this space to write too. Here's another one using the Starry Sky ribbon, which I really love how this phrase at the end. Some people might think that's annoying, but I love it. I love the look of that. So there's that, and she used some of the iridescent, what are those called? Iridescent gems, I think. Those are from the mini catalog, but they carried over. This was the really cool one that my friend Rose Ward did. She had the embossed panel here. Again, a fun fold, but it's also a gift card holder. So how clever is that, right? Love that. And it's just a basic half sheet of cardstock. So it's 8.5 by 11. You cut it 4 1/4. And then instead of, I mean, you scored it at 5 1/2 like you always would, but then you just score it again. I think it's at 2 3/4. And then you get that fold over part. So super easy to do. Okay, here's my swap from the swap that I did. Very simple. I used the Fern embossing folder. Just one quick little stamp and a sentiment stamp, and of course some dimensionals and bling. Here's another fun fold that you guys liked as well. This is a Z fold. So again, it's that same kind of pattern as before. You're going to cut the cardstock at 4 1/4. Right, on the short side, 4 1/4 and half, and then you score it 5 1/2 to make a basic card fold. And then instead of folding this way for the gift card holder for this base piece, you're gonna score it at that, I think it's 2 3/4. And you score it back, and it creates that little Z. And then you just add another piece to connect them together. So super easy to do. It looks complicated. It's a really good wow, but it's not hard at all, you guys. Here's another fun one. I love this one because they actually stamped on the Starry Sky cardstock first and then ran it through with the Fern embossing folder. Love the texture that creates. And then just use one of the really simple pieces of paper with the stamping some blotchy images on that. Here's another one. Very pretty, focusing on that really pretty paper. And then here was another one I made. This is the card design that I had done for to show off the in colors. So this was a really fun one too. Not very hard either. All right, so now let's move on. Yeah, the paper is so much better in person, Patty. I agree. Oh, yay! Welcome, Cheryl. I'm glad you came back. It totally makes sense for you to get that in-color starter kit. It is an amazing deal. And, of course, now you get a discount on all your future catalog purchases. So, awesome. All right, so I'm taking a regular standard card base. This is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. And I'm going to do, like I said, I want to do a belly band card. So normally we would score this at 4 1/4 to cut it in half, and not cut it, but fold it in half. But I'm going to actually, I'm going to score on one side at 2 1/8, I think. Yeah, because this is, yeah, they're 8ths, because these are marked in 16ths. So I want 2 lines, which is an 1/8, and I'm gonna score that. You don't want to cut it, you're gonna score it. So I'm using gray granite cardstock. I'm not sure if I said that. And I'm going to flip it around to the other side and do the same thing. So I'm going to score it at 2 1/8. I know it's kind of more difficult measuring, but basically we're taking that 4 1/4 inch piece, because these normally would be 2 4 1/4 inch panels. So I'm taking one of those panels and I was dividing it in half in order to get those measurements. So that's what I did. And the reason why I did that is because now I'm going to go ahead and, if I did it correctly, we're going to fold those over and we get, I think this is called a gate fold. So you're just going to get, it's like opening like a gate. So there is the basis of my card. And the reason why, I don't know why, I just felt like doing a belly band today. So the reason why it's going to be a belly band is because, of course, if you do that, it doesn't really stay shut. I mean, obviously, if it was stuck under some books or in an envelope for a really long time, it would probably stay shut pretty well. But I like to kind of finish it off a little bit more. So we're going to actually create a belly band for it. So I'm just gonna give it a good score. That will make it sit a little bit better. Okay, and then I'm gonna take a piece of, I'm just using basic white, and you could score it if you wanted to. I tend to just, lazy stamper over here, I tend to kind of center it, and you can use your grid paper for this, right? I center it on my card, and then I'm just gonna take it and fold it over the card like that. Thank you, Kate. Yeah, I'm excited. We're gonna go out with some friends tonight for dinner and have some margaritas, of course. It's not my first this week, and it won't be my last, I'm sure. My friend Amy and I went to San Diego's, my favorite place, earlier this week and had some margaritas. And then tomorrow night, we're going out with Nate's brother and sister-in-law, and we're going to Sam's again for some more margaritas. So there'll be lots of margaritas in my future. It's the beauty of being born on Cinco de Mayo. So I just wrapped this around pretty snugly, but not too snugly, right? Snugly. That sounds funny. I don't know why that cracked me up right now, but it did. And there we go. So you want something that's going to kind of hold that shut, but will slip on and off. Okay. So now it's decorating time. So I'm going to take some of this beautiful paper. Actually, you know what I'm going to do first is I'm going to grab a mat for the middle. And this is a good tip for you guys. I'm going to grab one that I already have done, I think. Hold on. Wait, oh, here they are. They're right on my desk. I tend to take, sorry, running away. I tend to take a package of white paper, the basic white, and I cut it to 4 by 5 1/4, the whole thing. And then I have these little inserts that are ready to go. And I keep these with my thank you cards usually because I tend not to, I tend not to put insides in mine usually when I'm actually making the cards. You know, like when I created this last week, I actually didn't do the inside, but when I send it, I'll want an inside. So I cut a whole pack of the Whisper White, and I usually will do a partial pack of the Very Vanilla because I don't usually use as many of those. And then I tuck them in my little bucket for thank you cards. That's what I've been working on today. And that way I have a bunch ready to go and I can just stick them inside. So that's a really good thing, hi Kathleen, for you to do just to be ready. Like, you know how I have that little bucket of card bases already ready. So this way it's just one less step for me when I'm creating. I probably should, I wanted to stamp on this. But you could also just add them in while you're stamping, right? But that would make too much sense for me. There's a limit, you guys. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and tape this in the center. Because I already put tape on it, I'm going to have to fudge this part. I'm going to actually, or maybe what I could do instead of, stamping in here, just because I don't want to get ink on the gray, which I could still do that. I could use my grid sheet to protect when I stamped. But I think what I might do is just take a piece of the pattern paper and put that on the inside. I probably have some scrap pieces. So let's just figure out what patterns I want to use. I think I'm going to, let's see. I love this one, which we already used that one. That's one of my favorites. I, of course, love this one, but it doesn't transfer well for card making. I'm going to save that one for, whatchamacallit, scrapbooking. I do love me. Actually, you know what? I like the stripes. Let's see. Let's keep looking. Hold on. I like the stripes, and I like these little polka dots too. So let me just see what I like better and what my pattern is going to be. I like this pattern too. That one. I have to be honest, I'm not crazy about the Pacific Point in it. That really bright blue kind of throws me off. But, oh, I like this one. Maybe we'll use this one for the focal. Okay, so I'm going to use this one because I already did this. So now, do I want to use stripes or polka dots with that? I think the stripes look, they both look fine. What do you guys think? Should I pair this with stripes or polka dots? You guys tell me. What do you think? Let's make this a choose your own adventure. All right, I'm going to move this stuff out of the way because I know we don't need that. And then once you guys decide stripes or polkas, we'll continue on. Thank you, Georgia. Yeah, stripes or polka dots. I'm going to take a sip of water. We got one vote for polka dots. Polka dots. I love me some polka dots. One for stripes, two for stripes. let's see. We'll give it a couple more. If I get another stripes, it'll be stripes. If I get polka dots, we'll wait for one more. So what do we think? There's enough of you on here. Somebody needs to be... Thank you, Patty. Oh, there's another stripes. Okay, so we're going to do stripes. Jen was the tiebreaker there, so we're going to do stripes. And now, what we're going to do is I'm going to use my ruler, my handy dandy ruler here. These are going to be the same size, so I'm just going to measure this. So this is 2 1/8, so I am going to, usually I would just take 1/4 inch off. So basically, I'm going to pretend that's 2. I'm going to take 1/4 inch off, which is 1 3/4, and then add that 1/8 back in. So, what is that? This ruler is hard to see. 1 3/4 plus 1/8 is what I'm going to do for the measurement, and I'll tell you what that is specifically in a second once I get it on here. And I'm going to use the really pretty paper first. 1 3/4, so that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I should probably have my glasses on, 6, 7/8. Yeah, duh. Oh, you guys, sometimes it would have been so much easier to just go backwards. But whatever. So 1 7/8 is the measurement for this. And then because this is, I already know this is going to be 5 1/2. So my measurement on this length is going to be 5 1/4. So it's just taking off 1/4 inch on that one. And I need 2 of them. So I'm going to go ahead and just cut that 5 1/4. Okay. These are going to go on the front, and then I think I'll put the stripes on the inside. Okay. Actually, it probably would have, if you're really particular, you might have wanted to cut your piece of paper so that it was 5 1/4 across, and then do your 1 7/8 here and 1 7/8 there so that the patterns matched up exactly. Mine, because I did it in a long strip, they don't match, right? So you don't get what I'm saying there. I'm not going to be super particular about it. I don't really think you can tell. And we're going to have the belly band around it anyway, so I'm not really going to worry about it. But just in case, if I have anybody who's super particular about that, just keep that in mind. Okay, so I'm just going to lay these down like that. They do both look good, Cheryl, I agree. I'm personally a polka dot girl. I love polka dots. My former coworker used to call me the polka dot princess because I literally wore polka dots like every day. I still love polka dots. Stripes, not so much for clothing anyway. I do love my stripes for crafting though. Okay, so there's the outside to start. Don't forget we still have this little guy who we're gonna embellish in a second. Now I'm gonna do the same thing because these are the same measurements on the striped paper. Now this one you wouldn't want, actually I guess you could. You do want to think about, I'm going to actually do it so that the stripes are sideways. You do want to think about direction with this, with the stripes. Do you want them to go the long way down, or do you want them to go across? I want them to go across, so I'm going to cut this at 1 7/8, and then we'll cut it at 5 1/4. Okay, and these will be inside. Okay, so those are going to go on the insides like this. Okay, now I kind of want a little bit more blue in here. Maybe I'm going to pull in the pattern from the front. So I'm just going to cut myself a little 1-inch piece. You could use a scrap piece. Actually, I do have some scraps. Let's see if that works. I kind of like tying in the ones I've already used, since that's not the pattern on the front. I could use this color, but which is the gray. Is that the gray, or is... Yeah, it is the gray granite, so I could use the back side of those, but I think I'm gonna just go ahead and match the pattern that I used on the front. So I'm gonna cut this at 1 inch by, that piece is 4 it's 4 actually. So we'll cut that at 4, the little white piece inside. Okay, so I'm gonna tape these down. And then I'm going to put this along the bottom here. Okay, so like I could have just done a little stamp there, and I actually probably still could if I wanted to, but I might. Oops. All right, somebody just asked me about this the other day, when your seal pulls up your paper. So first thing I do is I move this forward to get that out of my way. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and I don't know why it does it, to be honest. I think it's something to do with the pressure. You're either doing too much pressure or not enough pressure. I had it happen a lot more when I first switched from the old adhesive we had to this one, so it's definitely a pressure thing. I just can't remember or can't figure out which one it is, whether I'm doing too hard or too soft. But in order to get it back running properly, I usually start up in the adhesive I already put down. So I'll go up here and I drag that in, and now it started again, okay? And it may pull up again like it did, like that's actually the paper that I just pulled forward. So I rolled it the wrong way. That was my bad. I'm just gonna stick that over there. But if you like kind of stick the tip of it into the adhesive, it kind of remedies that problem. So it stops doing that, okay? Somebody just asked me about it and I was testing it the other day, and that really seems to work. Now, if, for instance, it had done that the first time I started stamping with this, the other trick you can do is grab your silicone craft mat and have it like start on there first, and then go ahead and go to your paper, and that should kind of stop that pulling. And then just be mindful of your pressure. Are you doing too hard, too soft? And that might help you too, okay? Just a little tip that I've discovered. I do overall really like the new Seal adhesive, although I will admit I tend to only use the Seal Plus. The regular Seal, I don't like it as much. I like this because it comes out in the little strips, and it's really easy to fold over the adhesive if you go over and whatnot. So I just prefer that one. It's also the stronger hold, so whether I'm scrapbooking or card making, or making 3D projects, I don't have to think about it. I can use that for all of the above. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and add this to the bottom. Okay, just doing a little decorating, letting this paper really shine. Okay, and I may actually just take a piece of this plain and just do like a 1/2 inch, maybe even, you could probably even do 1/4 inch. I'm just gonna do a 1/2 inch by 4, like so. You could use plain cardstock too. I just had the paper handy, so that's why I did it. And I'm just gonna do a little seam here. I don't know why. I really like the look of, I call it a seam. It's not really a seam, but I like to kind of finish it off that way. So I'm just gonna do that. And of course you could stamp a sentiment in here as well. All right, so that's kind of the mechanism of our base. Now we really want to decorate the front. So this is gonna go on here. And be very careful to pay attention to where the seam is for this. You want that on the back. So I'm gonna put that towards the back. And then I'm gonna put this around the center. I actually think I might add some designer series paper to this as well. What did we do? We did 2 inch. So I'm gonna do 1 3/4 of the stripes again to pull that in. And again, I want the stripes, I'm gonna have the stripes go up and down this time. So I'm gonna cut it this way again. 1 3/4. So some of the white will still show because this piece is 2 inches. So I'm cutting this one just 1/4 inch shorter. And then I'm probably gonna do the same thing and just bend it around. I don't remember what size. I think this paper was 11 inches originally, so I am gonna cut just like 1 inch off of this. And then I may need to cut some more off, we'll see. Then I'm just gonna do the same thing I did the last time. I'm gonna wrap it right around this. Okay, so we're gonna get it centered like so. You could put a little bit of adhesive in there as well, and I may still do that. I just wanna get this so that it fits nicely up against this. Like I want, because there's my seam, so I kind of want it to land like that. So I'm probably, what I'll do, is I'm gonna go like this. And of course you could measure this if you're like more put together than I am. I like to be lazy. So I'm gonna tape that part there because I know I want that. Okay, and then we can add a little bit of adhesive here. Okay, so that will stick to the front. Like so. And now this part, of course, I only need it to go a little ways. So we can take our little trimmer. Let me just kind of eyeball it. I kind of want it to be about 1/4 inch from that seam. I don't know if I was off, sorry. So probably, and you can mark it. Do I have a pencil? I do. So probably about there will be good. And now I can just stick it in my trimmer and trim that part off. Make sure it's straight. And if it's not exact, it's totally fine. It's the back of the card. I just kind of wanted to make it. See how that now leaves that little 1/4 of an inch there. All right. So there's that. And you could actually just wrap it right around and make the seam wherever. Like, you don't have to be meticulous about that. But I just wanted to do that. Now, what I was thinking is I would use my favorites, the Stylish Shapes. And we're going to go ahead. I feel like I want a square for this one. Let's see what size square. That one seems a little small, so I think I'm going to use the biggest one. Okay, like that. That looks good. I think that will be nice. I didn't bring my die cutting machine over here, and I gotta think what color paper I want. So the colors in this, oh, maybe I'll use the gray granite. Actually, I think, I might want to do a double layer. So I might want to do a cardstock for that one, and then white for this one. So, or I could do navy. I like being able to pull in the gray from the background, so this cardstock piece would be matching the background, or we could do navy to pull that in, or I could do just, oh, I cut my favorite paper. I didn't realize that. Or I could do this one as the pattern. I think I want something as the background, I mean. I don't know. Too many decisions. I gave myself too many decisions. I am going to, I find that the Night of Navy and the Starry Sky are just a little bit off on this, so I think I'm going to do the gray. Let me get my die cutting machine and some white and gray granite cardstock. So hang on there. Sorry about that. I am winging it, like I said, so I didn't really have a plan in place. And we'll grab the big machine just because I don't have to worry about sizing. All right, so now I'm going to take this. I'm going to, that would be cute too, navy large and gray smaller. I didn't bring the cardstock over, but sometimes I just feel like it's not a great match with the paper. I don't know. So I'm going to do gray. I'm going to go, because I want to stamp on the smaller one. So that's why I'm going to do white for that. You could stamp on the gray granite as well. So that's totally fine. I'm going to use the gray, pull that in from the base. I'm going to pull in all the colors. And then, all right. Thank you, Elaine. All right. So we have that one. Okay. Whoops. I'm going to put that aside, put this aside, then I'm going to cut myself a smaller white one. I could stamp it first, but I kind of want to know the size first before I stamp it. Okay, and roll that through. I just saw the roll that beautiful bean footage the other day, and I was telling Nate how every time I do the die cutting machine and I roll my little Big Shot, I always think of that commercial and have to say it out loud. It's the cutest little golden puppy, or it's not really a puppy. All right, so let me move that out of the way. Now we've got our two pieces. Let's just double check that I'm gonna like it. Yep, I think I will. So of course we want to add a little bit of color here. So I'm gonna move this to the side. I want to do some stamping. So I think I could do the little flower. Although I kind of wish it was a little bit longer. Maybe I'll do this guy. I haven't used this guy yet. Whoops. Come back here. All right, and use a block. And let's go with navy. Actually, I'm gonna put it on this side so that that fern is kind of pointing into my card. Not, oh, actually, I kind of like it that way too. But I would have to put it like over here so that piece is just straight along the edge. But I think I'll do it this way. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to use Night of Navy. I love Night of Navy. Light of Navy. Good Lord, I haven't even had a margarita yet. I thought about it. I thought it would be kind of fun for me to do my live today with a margarita in my hand, but I thought that might not be very smart. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and stamp that. Ooh, I like it, I like it. Okay, and then let's go ahead and figure out what we're gonna do for a sentiment. I think I'll do hello there. But I think I want to have a little bit more. I don't want to just stamp it here. I want to make it pop a little bit more. So now I might actually take a piece of the gray and stamp that. In fact, let's go crazy. Maybe let's do a banner. I kind of want a thinner greeting, but I don't want to cover all of my little piece here. But I think this will look nicely. And look nicely? It will look nice. And look, I can fit it right on this little scrap piece. Nothing like using your scraps, right? Let me pull this back in. And we will die cut this little banner. Stitched banner. Using all the elements here. Cut this out. And we'll stamp that. You could stamp it first if you wanted to. And move that out of the way. Put this aside so I don't lose it. Now we've got our little piece here. I'm going to use Night of Navy again. Ink this up. Okay. And try and get this straight. Not bad. There we go. Okay. It goes off the little banner a little bit, but I'm not upset about that. Okay. We'll do this. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to put that there. I'm going to put this here. You know, now, with that all together, now I feel like it's too much gray. So what I might do, just so I don't have to run across the other side of the room. Let me just see if I like that. I don't hate it, but let's maybe go with Kathleen's idea and do maybe. Let me see. Please hold. Oh. All right, I have a scrap of navy. But see how it doesn't, like, it matches other colors in there, so that's what bugs me. Like, I don't like that it's not the right match. And it's not Starry Sky either. So I think that's what bugs me. So I may actually just do this. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. All right, so let's go ahead and cut this again. Just cut it down like that. This kind of has the mix of colors in it, so I'm a little bit better with that. Okay. And take this out, put this back. We need the larger one. Hopefully I just cut it the right size. Okay. Move that in. Okay. And now we have our little die cut square. All right, let's see if I like that better. Let's layer this onto this. Oh yeah, that's better. It's too much gray. Okay, I'm liking that better, but before I do that, I also want to add some ribbon, I think. So I've got a little bit more of this color, which this is Starry Sky. It's a little bit off, but this doesn't bother me. I kind of like that. So we're gonna go ahead, before we attach all this, we're gonna go ahead and tie a little bow. You know me and my bows. Okay, go ahead and cut that. I think I'm gonna have the bow on the left. So I could take this to my belly band first, but let's have a challenge. And there we go. Okay, tighten that up. This is a little crooked, but it's gonna be fine because I'm gonna put the white over it, so I'm not worried that that's twisted. Not crooked, it's twisted, is what I meant. Okay, we'll trim this down a little bit. Okay. Now, when I attach this to the card, we have to be very careful that we don't put dimensionals up too high or too low, because then it will not slide on and off, right? So what we need to do is we need to actually, what I usually do is I put the dimensionals right here on the panel, okay? And we can take these off. Put this so that it's centered. Like so. Okay, then I can go ahead and tape this. I think I can tape this one flat. I do need to, whoops, should have tested that first. I do need to move that a little bit so I could get the white centered. That ribbon is thin enough that I'm not worried about it being bumpy right here. If it was a thick ribbon, you'd probably want to put this on with dimensionals, but this will be fine. I'm gonna pop up the sentiments, so that's why I don't want to add this with dimension as well, because then it's just gonna get too thick. Okay, so we'll tape that down like that. This one, like I said, I'm going to pop that up with some dimensionals. Somewhere I snipped these the other day, and I don't know where those went. So we're going to just snip some more here. And I'll pull that off. And we'll pull this over here. Okay. And again, this will be all on this panel, so I don't have to worry about it. But if it was hanging off, you wouldn't want to put dimensionals all the way there, because then it would close your card shut. Okay, there's that. And of course, no card is finished without some bling. So let's see. You know what I might use? Well, let's see if they work. I know we can't get them anymore, which is sad, but I might, does the waves work? I might use this lighter blue from the waves. The Waves gems, these were so awesome. They sold out. That was part of the Waves of Inspiration suite. In fact, they sold out before I could get them for my Stamp of the Month class last month. I was so sad. But you could use any blue gems, any white, regular gems, whatever you wanted. But I'm gonna put a couple of these here. And then maybe one down there, like that. And there you go, finished with that. So you've got a really fun little fold that will kind of slide on and off. Oh, I put it on upside down. I was like, oh, but that's an easy fix. No worries, we'll just flip that upside down. Now it's the right way. Okay, and we could stamp a sentiment inside. I don't think this one, well, I could do the best wishes and happy thoughts inside if I wanted to, or because it just says hello there, or I could put the heartfelt thank you inside, or you're on my mind. I'll just leave it blank because I don't know what I'm going to use it for. So that would be my finished project. So what do you guys think? Do you like the Sun Prince collection? I think it's really pretty, especially like I said, if you're a blue person, it's a must-have, but in general, I think it's a really nice collection to do sympathy cards, birthday cards, spring stuff. Like, it's really versatile. You can do a lot with this collection. So hopefully you found that one inspiring, and even if you don't use this particular collection, you can repeat that card with any product and it's gonna look great. So thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna go and clean up my mess, do a few more things here in the office, and then probably head home to start some margaritas and celebrate the evening. So I hope you guys have a great day. Have a, actually, wait, I'll see you again tomorrow. We got one more day of the new catalog countdown, so I'll be back again at 2 p.m. Eastern tomorrow as well. So hopefully I will see you there. Thanks so much and have a great day. Bye for now.